wondering about what Islam says about the evolution theory.
Yes.
I'm wondering about what Islam says about evolution theory, about animals and people having changed. For example, that dinosaur existed.
Yeah. Okay. Brothers and sisters, I could actually easily give a whole lecture on this, okay? But obviously we don't have time. So very, very briefly. I want to say something to the Muslims, actually, first in regards to the theory of evolution. You know, I don't think it does us any credit, and it won't help you, to simply mock and make fun of the theory of evolution. I personally believe that the theory of evolution is a very powerful idea. And it's powerful because it's simple, and it does seem to explain some phenomena that we see and that can be observed in the world in which we live and in the fossil record and so on and so forth. Right? Do Muslims believe in evolution? Well, I wouldn't say that it's a point of, certainly it's not a point of view or it's not a principle of our religion that we have to believe in the theory of evolution. Right? Certainly not. So do we believe it in the sense that it's a dogmatic thing that we have to believe in? Certainly not. Right? However, Muslims by and large do believe that the scientific methodology as a methodology is a good and sound methodology. Okay? And that if science conclusively proves something to be true, that is not something as Muslims we can ignore. Now, many Muslims today would still argue that the theory of evolution is not conclusive. There are still many holes and discrepancies that have not been dealt with concerning this theory, and there is lack of evidence in order to fully say that we can really be sure that this theory has taken place. However, in spite of that, by and large, we could say that there is nothing that contradicts the idea that creatures could have or have evolved through small stages into the complex different organisms that we find in the world today. There's nothing in principle that says we can't believe in that. Okay? In fact, the Quran teaches us how the human being is developed through stages of embryonic development. And those stages are different. Okay, so the stage of nutfa is different from the stage of alaq, which is different from the stage of mudgha, okay, which is different from the state in which we finally look like a human being. So Allah, in a sense, has developed us through distinct stages in our mother's wombs. So the idea of development through different distinct stages is not an impossibility. In fact, it's a reality that the Quran acknowledges in human embryonic development. So how about this idea applying to life in general? Well, it's certainly a possibility. However, I make a proviso. There are two things that we will say we cannot agree with. As Muslims, we can't believe that these processes are completely devoid from and separate from the power and the guidance of God. So if evolution has taken place, it's because God is the evolver. God is the one who is evolving the creation. In other words, we can't accept the premise that these are purely natural processes that don't have anything to do with the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the knowledge of the Creator. So, do we believe that God really randomly things evolved? No, we can't accept that. Secondly, I stick to although there are other opinions, but I don't agree with them, I stick to the orthodox opinion that God has created the human being miraculously. That Adam was created in a way that is miraculous, just as Jesus was created in a way that was miraculous. Jesus was created without a father, no father. God created Jesus miraculously in the womb of Mary, and God just needs to say be, and something is. So Jesus was human. He was a human being. We don't believe that because God created him miraculously without a father, therefore God was his father. No. Okay? No, that doesn't follow. God just created Jesus without a father. Okay? Similarly, God created Adam without a mother or a father. Distinct from whatever processes were going on in the world at that time, God introduced Adam into the order of the world in a miraculous way. So do we believe that human beings descended along with monkeys from a common primate? No, I don't believe that. Islam can accept that, and I stick with the orthodox position. Does that mean that there could not have been human-like creatures existing? That is certainly possible. Why not? Because what makes us different, actually, as humans, there are some differences, but the most fundamental difference is that what makes us different from the animals is that we have the choice to submit to God or not. That's what makes us different. Not just some physiological things, right? Whether I have, I don't know how my arms are, or my legs are, or my nose is, or whatever. No. My fundamental thing that makes me human and that makes me different from the animals is that I can choose to submit to God or not. I can choose to believe in and obey and worship the Creator or not. That's what makes us different. Yeah? So I do believe, as the Quran teaches, and that's how I literally understand it, that God created Adam miraculously and God created Eve from Adam. Okay? But does that mean that evolution did not take place? Or no, it doesn't. Islam does not have anything to say about that definitively one way or the other, so it's certainly possible. So I hope that answers that question, and Allah knows best.